And you did, but you know, it's hard when you're in it to do that. Yeah.
Malcolm, did you have anything to add? I heard you try to talk earlier.
I think he's
Yeah,
working with the computer.
yeah. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I gotta get out of it. I'm gonna come back to me. Come back to me.
Ray, you got something? You here? Stephanie? Looks like she still can't connect to the audio.
Okay, well, on Facebook.
Otherwise, let's say it's about to be 9 o'clock. That's Rib's time if ain't nobody else talking.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'm literally here at my dad's house working with the computer to get everything back under control. But yes, everything that everybody was talking about, financial abuse and spiritual abuse. Me personally, from my personal experience, I categorize everything that was mentioned underneath emotional abuse. The person is narcissistic. They make it seem like you're the issue when really they are the issue. And from my own personal experience, you know, you get a little bit of good from them, just like I believe Yaya said, you get a little bit, or I think it was you, Tiffany, I'm sorry, but you get a little good from them, and you're so happy with that good that, you know, you try not to think about the bad, but when the bad comes, it's like a category 6 hurricane. It's horrible. They're hitting on you and just carrying on. Like me personally, I have a cigarette burn on my arm. I don't know if I can show it to y'all, but I have a cigarette burn on my arm from the emotional and physical abuse that I received. In my situation, I had similar to you, Yaya. I had a girlfriend who used to make fun of me for going to church. Why are you paying your tithe? Why are you reading that book? Same thing, you know. They try to get me on the sage and crystals and stuff, and you need to use this sage and chant this, and I'm just like, I'm not doing that. I know who my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is, and exact same situation. I was actually living with the girl. I was actually paying majority of the bills. Don't even live there. I was taking the mother to and from cancer appointments. And I'm not bringing all that stuff up to, throw it in the girl's face and like, this is what I did for you. But it's more like, I gave you so much of me. I even left my own home to come live with you. And this is the type of treatment I get. You want to slap me. And if I tell your family members about it, I get laughed at because they say, oh, it's basically taboo. Men get hit on by women. That's perfectly normal. It's not normal. It's not normal for you to be in an argument with a woman and she just slap you right across your face. And same thing for if you're a woman and you got a guy doing it to you, so, just me personally, I that's just my experience. I cannot stand any type of emotional or physical or financial or spiritual abuse. And me personally, when I meet people that I might get a red flag from, I run as fast as I can. I'm like Phelps underneath the water. That's how fast I am. I have to get away from you. You're not going to mess up my energy. You're not going to mess up my peace. And you just need to go to counseling or go, whatever it is you want to do, go do it. But I will not be a part of it.
I definitely agree with you on that one. 100,000,000,000%, Malcolm. Yeah, like I said, the situations I was in, I was still crazy, stuck around for a little bit. Took me a minute to come to my senses. Like, why am I doing this? I don't deserve this. Why am I putting up with it? And I'm not happy. I'm sitting around here moping. And like Tiffany said, I'm trying to drown myself out in alcohol and just making matters worse for myself. And made matters worse for myself. So I agree wholeheartedly. I can't do toxic no more. I can't.
Yeah. I definitely feel that, like, and it was something that I had to come to grips with the other day because I had did something so bizarre, and it made me realize, like, you got a lot of growing and work to do because you are still living in that relationship. And it was like everybody was trying to talk to me, everybody was trying to tell me, and it was just like, yeah, it was just like, it was almost like it was going in one ear and not the other, but it was going in one ear, it would stay. But it was just like, it was always in the back of my mind. And it was like, and it's crazy how you usually end up leaving those situations. What I've noticed about people that end up leaving those situations, it'd be the little thing. It'd be the last thing. It'd be something super little, and it makes you leave. And what my little thing was, I had went to South Africa for a cultural experience when I was in school. So I bought all these little trinkets back and everything like that. And it was one thing that I just was so proud of myself for buying, because I was struggling over there. My phone was dying like every 5 seconds because I was trying to record everything and take pictures of everything. Like I was walking down the street with the camera in my hand like this. But it was a portable charger that I had bought in Cape Town. Now, like, I can't get this portable charger anywhere, but it was just a fact that I bought it there. He broke it, and he tried to tell me that I broke it. And it was like, when that moment happened, it was like, ding, nope, this is done. This is over. I can't no more. I will not. But after that relationship, it made me realize and reevaluate the situations I would get in. And it's made me notice, like, I realized this probably like a couple of weeks ago about myself and the type of guys that I end up attracting. And I'm just like, what is it about me that I attract these people? But it's not necessarily that I'm doing something. It's just that I'm not paying attention. And so now I'm starting to pay attention. Like you said, Malcolm, those toxic traits, I run like now. I'm just going to run. So I realized that a lot of people that are like that, one, they are very controlling. You can always spot a controlling person from a mile away. You may not realize that you can, but you can. And I had to realize I am nobody's trophy. I may look like a trophy, but I am not your trophy. And you will not put me on display. You will not sit there and make it seem like, oh, she's this and that and this, and she obeys. I am not that. And you will not treat me like that. And that's what a lot of people that are abusers try to do to you. They try to put you on like this trophy pedestal and make it seem like they're the perfect person because they listen. They're so trained. They're this, they're that. And females do this to guys too. And this is why you guys get into those situations, because they want it to seem like, oh yeah, he listened to me, girl. He don't do all of that stuff because he know he already know. And that's not cute. That's not cool. And once you realize that, yo, I am a prize, but I am not a trophy, and you won't treat me like one. Like, yes, you should treat me right, but what you're not about to do is make it seem like I'm just a Barbie that you can play with and put me on the shelf and bring me down and throw me around how you want to when you feel like it. Like, I got more self-love in me now, and I got more self-care. Like, no.
I think that was it. No, go ahead.
No, you
finish. Okay. I think that was the issue in my last relationship, the whole pedestal trophy aspect, and not realizing how that can lead to manipulation necessarily, which, whether, again, we want to acknowledge it or not, that is a form of abuse as well. I know, me personally, I had put him on a pedestal very early on in our relationship. This is, 4-year relationship that I'm talking about, for a little 4 years plus. But, you grow, you learn. No, humans don't belong on pedestals. Pedestals are for gods. Yes, we're gods in our own right, blah, blah, blah. But human, we are 100% human. We don't belong on pedestals. And I think that I agree with you. It's like that. It's like you had a false sense of who I was, and that led you to treat me a certain way because you put me up so high and I couldn't live up to it. It's like it's a narcissistic trait to do that to another human, and then you berate them and blame them for not being able to live up to whatever image they had in their head of what you should be because they think that that's what they deserve. It's very interesting mindsets and logics when you think about the mind of an abuser and the different types. So
I ain't put no thought into the whole pedestal thing, like you said. And now that you say that, now you got my mind like I'm replaying life back in my head right now. Dang, Tiff, you just messed me up in the head.
I had to come to grips. Like I said, it really it bothered me. 2019 was a hard year. I went through a lot in 2019 and had to think about a lot of things. And where I am today in 2020 is kind of the consequence or the result of all of that. And that was one of the things that came from there for me. Humans don't belong on pedestals, and abusers tend to put people up there, and that's the way that that's how they justify their abuse. You aren't living up to whatever expectation they deem you that you should be able to achieve. So
That makes so much sense. Like I had a relationship once again. Dang, I was in a lot of relationships where now that you say this, it's a whole different type of, like you say, it's a whole different version of abuse that you don't think about. But I did have a controlling woman that I had to deal with at one point, like to the point where she needed to know where I was, how long I was gonna be gone, who I'm with, why I'm not on the phone with her, why can't she go with me, or I gotta be there with you, like all types of stuff. And if you go out and I didn't go with you, when you come back home, we arguing. I ain't never really think about that as an abusive relationship, but now that you think about it, I have been abused. I'm scarred. I'm heavily scarred.
Yeah, that's
acknowledge where you were the
real.
abuser as well. Then
I'm
learn and
damaged.
grow.
I am damaged, like for real. Dang. Okay, I'm in my feelings right now. Anybody else want to talk?
Yeah, I was actually going to comment on I'm off mute. I'm talking right now. Dude. I was actually going to comment on what Tiffany said. Tiffany, I agree with everything that you said. In regards to everything that you said, I was actually laughing at what Yaya was talking about, because it's almost like we kind of lived the same relationship in certain point of view. For me as well, all it took was something very, very, very minuscule for me just to lead a person. It was crazy, Dad. It was real crazy. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I was like, it's like a light bulb went off in my head. Yeah, exactly like it was like a light. It was I think her USB phone charger or something.
She got from Africa or someplace.
Yeah.
Virgin Islands someplace.
No, it was South Africa. South Africa, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was South Africa.
That really had can you do that ding thing again? Like the light bulb went off.
It's like
oh my God. But yeah. No, that was funny. I had to put myself on mute because it was so funny. But that's exactly what happened with me. Like me and her I ain't gonna be too vulgar or vulgar at all, but I'm not that. But we were in bed and she said something to me. I forgot what she said. I believe she said, what did she say? She was like, you really need your hair done, and I ain't about to spend no money on you for you get your hair done.
You a kept man.
And I just looked at her. I was like, wait, this ain't 3 years ago. Now you're in my apartment. And what? I was like, what? I was like, you know what? Get up, get dressed, get out. That's like what I said. Get up, get dressed. And she was like, why? I was only playing. And it was just like a light bulb. It's like, you know how like you got a cupcake and it's just that last little bit of icing on the cake, or you got a perfect chocolate chip cookie and it's just that last little s'more that goes on top. That's all it took. And I was like, you know what? That's it. You're finished. And don't you ever call me again in life. I don't want to see you. That's how I do my breakups. I was like, I don't ever want to see you again. God bless you. I will pray for you, but you just need to go. And I don't ever want to talk to you again. That's all it took, y'all. That's all it took for that to end.
You and I are kindred
That is not Jerry Jones talking. That is Malcolm Jones.
Yeah, it's Malcolm Jones. It's the preacher's kid talking.
I don't want anybody to think that I'm having that type of.
No. It's me. It's me.
But
that's right.
They say the preacher's kids are always the worst ones, and I'm here to tell you it's true. It's very much true.
Well, I'm gonna say they always say that about preachers' kids and police officers' kids, because I'm a police officer's kid. So, with that being said, we are kindred spirits, because I promise you, when I break up with somebody, I tell them, you are air. You don't exist. You never did. And I tell them, treat me as such, because we don't know each other anymore. When I'm done with you, I am done with you. I don't even remember you.
Hold it. You say that when you're done with them, you do what now? You're air.
Yeah, they're air.
I say poof be gone. Poof be gone. They gone. Poof be gone. They don't exist anymore. Benny Benny Beachy.
Air?
You see air, Rev? No,
You
they
can't see air.
don't. No,
You
you
know
can't.
it's there, but
I'm
you
with
don't see
it.
it. You don't see it. You know they're there. You
Hey,
know
Ray.
it. You feel them, but you don't acknowledge it. You don't. You just know. You just walk outside and you breathe. You
You just
living.
walk. You keep living. You move as if ain't nothing
It's
happening.
like-
Exactly that.
Well,
Like-
in the Bible, we say you're like a vapor in the night.
Vapor is air.
Oh,
and this
man.
is water.
Yeah. See, I'm learning a lot about myself again.
Thanks, son. Appreciate it.
Yeah, because the
That's
way
what
I
we here for, boo. That's what we here for.
because my breakups be real when I'm actually the one doing the breakups. I think that's the Capricorn in me. I think that's when that part when people say Capricorns are evil and mean. I think that's when that come out, when I get ready to break up with you.
Just for your information, Facebook is up and running. Malcolm came over and fixed it. There was something on the cache that had too much data uploaded into my system, and he came on and fixed it so you can go to your Facebook page and make any notes you want.
Oh, yeah, we
Rev
got
over there
it.
doing the most on his computer. Clearly.
He's a director of the media ministry here.
He's
okay.
a lifesaver.
He is.
Yeah.
Malcolm to the rescue.
Hey, what's up, Ray? You ain't talking to us tonight? You just here?
Nah, I was on father duty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was upstairs with her. How you doing?
We good, boo. We've been talking domestic violence tonight. Do you have anything you'd like to bring to that conversation? You missed some good stuff.
I heard some stuff. I mean, I was just soaking it all in. I don't have anything per se, personally, that I have, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, been a part of or a victim to, but I don't, for one, I wouldn't even raise that way, man. Like, that's a no-no. Nah. Excuse
I have
my
a
language.
question.
Hell no, I don't even, I try not to let it even, I would not even let it get that far for me to even be involved in that. You know what I'm saying? For that energy to even.
How do you think you would react if you were witness to it, Ray? Like if like for all the fellas, like if y'all saw something taking place in person. Is that Malcolm looking scary down there? What just happened? You scared me. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. It's
Doing the social distance thing, my bad.
But how do you men folk react?
Something will tell me, you know what I'm saying, will tell me to try to intervene, but it's like shoot.
People
man.
lose their lives that
Do
way.
you-
I mean,
no,
I've
it
seen that
is,
happen
like-
too for the men. So how do y'all, like, what do you tell your boys, or like if you literally witness it in your house and you see your man talking a little shady to his girl, like, do you check in? Do you step in?
Oh, if you
y'all
said
act?
if it was to take place in my home or something?
In your home, your friend's house, like in your presence, and don't have not necessarily even with strangers.
Oh,
like,
somebody we
If it
know.
was
Okay.
one of my
Yeah.
boys,
Ooh.
if it was one of my mans,
for
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
if
is
it was
wrong
one
with
of my
you?
mans, I'm gonna say something to him like, nah. You know, if it's definitely one of my boys, look, hey Slim, we
Nah,
ain't
that
gonna
ain't
do
it.
around me. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't worth it. I don't mean no harm, but she ain't worth it. Trust me, she ain't worth that paperwork. She ain't worth you getting them cuss put on you. And I tell the sister the same thing. She ain't worth it. So let's look. Let's desist this situation, man. Look, big dog, be the bigger dude and walk away. Because again, that
We
ain't
don't
what
do
you
that in circles. We don't do that in circles.
I think that speaks to
I mean,
you guys'
and
character
it may
for
be
sure.
easier said than done because I haven't, you know what I'm saying, really witnessed that situation, but I would do as much as I can without me getting harmed.
Yeah.
You know, if y'all talking about that, it just brought me back to a situation that happened with my ex. Like I told you, I went through everything with this dude. But y'all know Iverson Mall. Everybody know Iverson Mall. So I had auditioned, and like, of course. So it was just like, it seemed like every time something big was going on with me, it would always be an issue. And so like, I was going into Iverson Mall, and so he had, I think he had my keys or something like that, because he needed to get back into my apartment. He had something that was mine, and so he was like, he was going to throw them in the street. And so I was like, bring my stuff, just bring my stuff. You can go about your way. And so we got into a fight right out there, and like I wasn't fighting. Like I stopped learning to stop putting my hands on people, like, because I was like, okay, well, this must be one of the reasons why he does this. So let me not, when he pushes me, let me not push him back. let me not get in his face. Let me not do that. So like I learned to really calm down with him, and it still didn't work. And so it was just like, when that happened that day, like I had went out to the car. I was sitting in audition. I had filled out my little application and everything. I was waiting. So it's on the phone with him. And so like the other models, they was hearing what was going on. They was like, Yaya, you okay? And so I was like, y'all, I'll be back. And so I went out there, got my key, and he tried to basically hit me with the car door from the other side. Like he opened the door and he went to go like push me that way. And so I jumped back and everything like that. And so I like grabbed my keys. And so as I'm like, so what happened was when he went to do that, I pushed the door back at him and I grabbed my keys really quick and like I tried to like go away. And so he threw the car in park, he hopped out and he chased me to the door, to the entrance. And I'm holding on to the door for dear life because he's literally pulling me and he's trying to like snatch me up. And so I'm just screaming and hollering and just like, oh my God, help me, help me, help me. And so people are just looking. Nobody does anything. People just looking. And so I know for a fact that when you're in public and situations like that go on, you're probably not going to get any help. Like, you're probably not. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get any help. So you probably are going to die. People are going to sit there and record it, but that's about all the help that you're going to get. They're just going to view your death. That's it. Nobody's going to help you. And it's a sad situation. It's something sad to say, but it is reality of what we're living in these days. People would rather record the situation as opposed to help the situation. And that was one thing that I experienced with that. Like, and then me being the person I am, because I'm just so determined and so focused, I go to my audition with a bloody lip. So, but everybody heard what had went on. Like, it was a whole scene. He got banned from the mall. I didn't, because I had I was technically working. And so they was like, well, we don't want to stop your money and we don't want to stop what's going on with you, but you can't come back. And the police officer looked at me and he said, he's done this to you before, hasn't he? And I didn't say anything. I left that alone. He was like, look, you don't have to say anything, but I really need you to like leave, because if he'll do this in public, I only fear what he'll do to you in private. Like, you need to leave. And it was like probably 3 weeks after that situation, that's when I finally left. So that whole people protecting you and guys like seeing that going on in public, they're not going to do anything, probably.
I think the only thing I ever felt truly protected by was my dog Snickers. Like, talking about a Yorkie poo, between 13 and 16 pounds, was not a big dog. But when I say that one time that my daughter's father went off at my parents' house and ended up choking me out in front of my parents, in front of my daughter, the dog stepped in. The dog stepped in. The fucking, excuse my French, the freaking dog stepped in. I'm sorry. Sorry, Rev. It's just that serious. It's that serious, though,
Yeah, I understand
The
that.
freaking dog
Hold on.
stepped in.
He did something at your parents' house?
Yep.
Yeah. In front of my parents.
Your mother and father was home?
In front of my, yes. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But see, now
I got trauma for more than one reason. When
So
I
he
said
didn't have
early in
any
the
respect for
conversation,
himself.
listen, as I said earlier in the conversation, when it's the people that are supposed to love and protect you the most that don't, how do you deal with people? How do you trust people? Because yes, that happened at my parents' home, in front of them both, and in front of my dog, and in front of my daughter, and he was still allowed to come back after that.
See, that's crazy, because my ex, he would never try it when my mom was home. When my mother was home, he was the sweetest person. He was a whole different person. But then when she left, that demon came out.
That was my parents' relationship. So it wasn't too outside of the norm, even though it was happening to their child.
That's crazy.
Wow. Okay, so real quick, we're gonna jump back real quick to your first question about what we do, and where Yaya was talking about what her incident at Allison Mall. that is a real like crazy 50-50 situation because of the fact that sometimes if the man jumps in, we've seen and heard the stories where the man jumps in and try to help, he ends up getting shot and killed. Or I've seen a situation where he ended up getting locked up for assault. I've seen a situation where he tried to help and the girl done jumped in to help the boyfriend that was beating her up. So it's like, what do you really do? Do you go and not mind your business and risk your life, risk your freedom, risk getting jumped by this couple? Like they come back together like, oh no, he can hit me, but you ain't gonna hit him, so we gonna beat you up together. So it's like in that outside world, when it happens in the outside, people look, they thinking, but then maybe it's like, yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out.
See, I can actually help you in that one. The way that you'll know if she will accept that help or not is walk over and be like, y'all all right? And if she be like, yeah, we good, then you know, leave that alone. If she looks at you and is like, you might want to like
help her out.
Yeah,
Right.
she'll give you that look because females will give you that look. The ones that are really scared and really want that help, they'll give you that look. They'll sit there and they'll say, matter of fact, they won't say anything because it's a fear that's there. But the ones who will say something, they don't want your help. That's something that they're comfortable with, apparently. And I'm not even going to say that they're comfortable with, but that's a norm. It's a norm, and it's a sad norm, but it's a norm, and it's a breakup to makeup type situation with them. Some people get off on that, and that's crazy to me because I can't. That's not love. Like I just could not, and I just will never. And like even now, I have a certain like you gotta respect me on a whole nother type of level because I went through that. And if I'm not getting that respect on that level, then you get cut off because I can't go through that ever again because I barely made it out the first time. So you can definitely tell the difference.
If I could jump in, real quick. Yeah, I definitely want to piggyback off that because there's been several situations that I've personally seen, me personally, out in public, and the man and the woman's fighting. Somebody goes in to break it up, and the woman's now beating on the person that's trying to break it up, which is like crazy to me. And another thing I want to throw out there from my personal situations, I've literally been in some relationships, and we got into an argument, and the woman's like, "Why don't you just hit me?" I'm like, "What?" "Yeah, why don't you just hit me? Why don't you just slap me?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do that. We're just arguing." So I just want to also point out it's rare, but there are some women that like that type of stuff. And like you said, y'all, they get off on it. But me personally, I could never understand why.
It's not a like, that's a trauma response. Like I said, I did the same thing. That one is not a like. It's different when you're in the bedroom and you're saying slap me or something. That's different. But to sit here and say, well, I don't know why you just want to smack me because you're mad at me, that's 100% a trauma response. It's not getting off on it. That's a trauma response.
I've been through something before.
Yeah, like this is the norm for me. Like I don't understand why you aren't hitting me right now because any other time this happened, I got hit in the mouth. That's what that is, Malcolm, just so you know. Like I said, I literally was one who told my daughter's father, hit me. I told him to, and he did. But again, what I prefaced that statement with was, I don't know who was more toxic or who was more messed up in the situation, me for telling him or him for doing it. It's a trauma response. It's not them getting off on it. Just so you know.
Oh, no, I definitely agree. That's why I asked that question because I just never really understood it.
All trauma. I remember I was at a birthday party. I got invited, me, my daughter, and my daughter's father. My daughter had to be like, she probably was 1, maybe, and again, she's 9 now. So I mean, this was many, many moons ago. But didn't know these people. One of my good girlfriends invited me over just because our kids played and blah, 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 neighborhood birthday party. Man, me, my girlfriend, and my daughter, we sitting down at the cookout, just eating our hot dogs and whatever. Next thing you know, this man just walks up and just punches a lady right in her face. This is in the middle of a family cookout. It's kids. It's like Like what? Like how is anybody comfortable doing that? But what I will say is that was the one time I was ever in support of my daughter's father fighting, because he actually got up and he beat that man's butt. Like, he was like, my daughter's here. My daughter's mother is here. I don't know, y'all. And you are crazy enough to walk up in front of 50 people and punch somebody in their face, a woman at that. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say a judgment for how they react in those situations, just because I understand that it can be life-threatening. But I mean, I do think it speaks to quality, character, something. If you say something, I ain't saying put your life in danger, but my God, like my brother's keepers, right? Like, I'm a woman. What can I do in that space? I don't know, but it's just like, I don't know. It's some crazy folks out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, you right. Even if it's you put some basic voice like, hey, don't you be hitting no woman now. Even if it's that, you gotta do something.
You definitely gotta do something, and then you just gotta see which way it's gonna go. Like now, like y'all pointed out the signs. If she say she good,
Let her go.
hey, I tried. You shake your head no. All right, I'm protecting this black queen. But yeah, if you tell me you good and this is what you like and what you into, I'm minding my business. And I hate to say it like that, but like you said, you're putting your life on the line. You don't know what's gonna happen to you. You don't know if you're getting jumped or nothing like that. I've seen it happen. So also, quick reminder for those of you just tuning in, we are talking about domestic violence because it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So thank y'all for tuning in, because we started late, but we're running a little bit over. Thank y'all for coming in, and keep putting them comments down. We're gonna read them out and all that other stuff. And yeah, till the Rev says it's time.
Well, I just want to say, this has been a very, this conversation tonight, it has been so enlightening and so overwhelming. There have been times in this conversation tonight where I feel like crying. And there have been times where I have laughed hard at the conversation, not because I think that it's humorous, but because of the way it was brought forth and the seriousness of it. There's so many people who experience everything that you all have discussed. So you all just did a marvelous job, I believe. And I think that the public at large is definitely going to benefit. And frankly, a lot of people are going to rethink their relationships and what they're experiencing and why they are experiencing. No, I'm not ready for this conversation to end. I think we should continue at least about another 5 or 10 minutes to discuss it. I've witnessed domestic violence, as I mentioned on a couple of broadcasts ago when we talked about it. And I've made it a point in my life not to beat women, not to hit women. And a lot of that was because I witnessed my father beating my mother. And y'all said earlier that a lot of this is learned behavior. It is learned behavior. And it's like a generational disease. The learned behavior is transferred from one generation to the next generation, and at some point it must stop. But one of the things that I did not find funny is when Yvonne Ali Monroe Yaya said that. I mean, it was very serious, and me and Malcolm was sitting here, and I'm saying, "Wow, you hear what she said? You talk about that you were so abused that you tried to hang yourself." That was not to mention some of the things that Tiffany mentioned as well. I mean, you all have been very transparent. Yaya, I just wanted to ask you, so what was it that drove you to the point where you tried to hang yourself? I mean, what kind of emotions were you experiencing about the abuse that you were under?
It was a lot. It was like, people like that, they find you at your most vulnerable times. They find you when you're at your lowest. And so I had just graduated from college. Life didn't work out the way that I thought it was going to. I already felt like I was failing. And then I'm failing at something else now. I'm failing at a relationship. And I'm like, and I'm finding that love. I'm thinking that this is like, I was finding something. So I just was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I just can't win. Like, I'm not winning at anything. And so it was just like, once he had started doing all of that, and like, he was like, he told me I wasn't worth anything. He told me I wasn't a good woman. And he told me that, I wasn't wife material. And so it was just like, that's something, even though I never used to admit this, because I used to like be like, oh, I'm strong, I'm a woman, and I don't need no man and all this other stuff. But as I got older, I realized I do want to be somebody's wife. I do want to be a mom. I do want to be all these things. And it's like, I'm about to be 30. At the time I was 29, it's like, I'm about to be 30. And this person just threw the fact in my face that I can't get pregnant by him. And then that I'm not wife material. And it was just so many things. It was so overwhelming. And I was like starting a new journey in life. I was broke. I had nothing. Like, he literally drained me dry. I missed out on so many job opportunities. Life was just going down. And it was just like, Satan had a grasp on me. He had already took away my
one thing that
because I told you, as when we was in that relationship, he was feeding me all these things about witchcraft and wizardry and stuff like that. And he was sitting there and telling me, there's no Jesus, there's no this, that's all white man stuff, and you believe in all this stuff, and that ain't you, da 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 da. And it was just so much abuse and weighing down. And it was just like, I had a moment of weakness. And in that moment of weakness, people don't know my history. People don't know my past. And the people that do, sometimes they use that to their advantage. At 19, I tried to kill myself. And it was just like, he knew this. So, when a person has attempted before, it's a chance they're going to attempt again sometime in their life. And
I think that Tiffany or someone brought it up this evening, that what these perpetrators do is that they try to tear down your self-esteem and cause you to think that you are
not enough,
that you have no value.
Right.
I mean, I think you all talked about that earlier in the conversation.
First lady.
Yeah, I think we were able to record some of it. We were having some recording issues, but hopefully a lot of this will come out. But Tiffany, then you went into a whole discussion tonight about you wanted to be, you talk about the trauma effect, and that you were looking forward to being, well, not looking forward to it, you would say hit me, and then you were dealing with certain amounts of violence and creating it yourself. Was there ever a time when you were not violent, when you were like the nice girl in the neighborhood?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I mean, yes. It's a laugh, like Chad will laugh at it, but no, that's a real question. Yeah. Yes. I mean,
I'm just trying to drive to what was it that really changed you to start dealing with violence?
I mean, I still am. I'm a very sensitive woman. My family was not from around here. I did not grow up with a lot of the same values as DC people, PG people. My family's from the country in Virginia, so I was raised with those kind of values. I didn't always fit in around here. I was the fat girl growing up. I was too white as a black girl. So it's like I already had my own issues. Then getting older and coming into, finally starting to date and dealing with men and not really having any type of guidance or positive spaces of what relationships should look like. I didn't grow up seeing any healthy relationships, especially between Black people, or not people in my family or anything. I didn't see that. I didn't know what it meant to be in a healthy relationship. So as I'm in college and I'm weathering my own storm and trying to find ways and experimenting, and here I am, like I said, I cheated before. My daughter's father was in jail, and like I went through all kinds of things, and I finally get to a point.
People are on there. Yeah.
I got to a point where I found me, and it's like,
sorry.
Well, dang, I did something that hurt someone else in that process. I didn't know what was healthy. All I knew was that I hurt someone, and they should be able to retaliate because I hurt them. So they should be able to hurt me back, because that was the only frame of reference that I had for healthy conflict resolution, healthy dialogue. I didn't have anything. All I knew was do unto others as you have them do unto you. Well, shoot, I hurt
I
him.
got it. I
Hurt
got
me
it.
back.
I do appreciate, your response, because, even the way I came up, we didn't have a good role model either. So what that says to us is that to break some of these generational curses, we can start doing generational blessing by having good role models. I was talking with my son this evening, and I said, one thing I don't want you to do, don't ever criticize his mother in front of another woman or someone else, and try not to ever let your children see you arguing and fussing, because that creates a big problem. And Chad, and you were talking about you realized at some point that you were abused. Once you realized that you had been abused, what did you start to feel like? Did you feel like that there was something else that you needed to do? Or did you come to were you angry, mad, or upset, or frustrated about it?
Not really angry or mad or frustrated. It was more like a revelation, so we say. It like I just realized where a lot of my problems stem from when it comes to relationships and stuff, because of what I've been through, and I didn't even realize what I was going through, basically. Like, I didn't know it was that bad. I'm just thinking, oh, these women just crazy. That's all it is. But now that we don't have this talk and realize this is like really abuse, and this is something that sticks to me, that stuck with me through all this time, I get it now.
Okay, let me ask Ray. I didn't hear much about what you said this evening, because I was trying to deal with some process issues. But what do you think about all of this? Now, you may have mentioned it before. You said I did hear the part where you said you weren't aware of some of the things that they were saying. But what do you think about all of this that has come out in this conversation? How's the public going to react to this check-in with Chad, Tiffany, and Avon Ali Monroe? How's the public going to respond to what they've heard tonight?
I mean, hopefully they'll be more aware of it, first and foremost. Like Chad say, if you are in public, you know what I'm saying, and there's two strangers, and that Sister Gita look like, help me out, cool, call 911. That's the best thing you can do, honestly. But if it's family oriented and or yourself, you got to be the bigger person. As much as hard as it is, man, I know we know how these women are. We know, ladies, y'all know it too, and men could be the same way. But somebody gotta have that shut up button. Like, you know what? Just shut up, walk away. You know what? You got it. As much as you hate our egos want to keep on. No, that's for few to mortify. If you can't walk away, even if she smush you. You know what? All right, cool. I mean, that's the best you can do. You know what I'm saying? As far as the public, man, if you got to defend yourself. I don't promote violence. You know what I'm saying? You got to defend yourself, but at the same time, man, it's like, man, look, if you can get out of it, get out of it. Like, for real, you know. But like Yaya was saying, as well as Tiffany was saying, as well as we know, we know it's not that easy, because the women get in here. You know what I'm saying? For one, they get scared. For two, they get brainwashed. You know what I'm saying? And then on the flip side of that, we already know the perpetrators, for real, is up here with them, because we never know how he or she was brought up. You know what I'm saying? And what they saw when they was kids. You know, so, and like I think somebody was saying, as far as arguing with you in front of your children, that's one thing you don't want to do. That's one thing me and my daughter's mother, we never have done, never will do. You know what I'm saying? All that.
Disagree. I think there's a way to disagree in front of your children. Arguing and yelling. I mean, arguing and fighting. No, but I mean, I still think kids should see healthy conflict, because is important and to show that it's okay to
Right.
overcome it. Because a lot of us think that, oh, we had one fight, the world is over, we breaking up, like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, to like, has to be healthy conflict.
Healthy resolution.
That's the key.
Right. Healthy resolutions.
Tiffany, at the beginning of the conversation, you gave some statistics. You said that there was, for men, I think it was 1 in 3 assaults.
For men, it's 1 in 4,
1 in 4.
Who have been abused, and for women, it's 1 in 3. I mean, we have 3 men on the phone line right now, and I think at least 2 of y'all have said y'all have experienced. Oh, we have 4. It's 4 of y'all on the line. So,
Yeah, somebody just joined us. G-Say just joined us.
We got G-Say coming. G-Say coming through.
But so really
the
numbers
so we gotta actually talk until at least 10 now because G-Say in the building.
So actually the numbers are pretty close in terms of the percentages of the abuse that occurs. You know, when I was I used to work for the Combined Federal Campaign, and they used to have centers for abused spouses.
Mm-hmm.
And I first learned about domestic violence to men. A lot of people don't really understand the domestic violence to men portion. I understood that when I went into a homeless shelter, and I looked around in the homeless shelter, and the people who were giving us the tour said, you know, some of your coworkers ain't here. So I started looking around to see who I saw. And it wasn't anybody that I knew, but it was actually people that worked in public service who were in there. And when the guy started to explain that the wife had beat the husband over the head with a bread pen roller and put him out, was my first time understanding about the domestic violence that men experience. And what you all have talked about here tonight is phenomenal, because you have really pointed out some of the reasons and rationale that the domestic violence occurs. Let's take it to another level, Rap, real quick. Please note that 1 in 4 women and 1 in 3 men are who report. We know men who, as Chad said earlier, what man want to sit up here and say he been beat by his woman? Mm-hmm. So the numbers for men are probably much higher, just like for women, they're probably higher. But also, like you said, you know someone that experienced beating over the head with a rolling pin as a woman. We live in this Medea society. Bang, bang, shoot 'em up. Got my pot of grits. Got my hammer. My best friend's mama, she called the hammer, because she done used that hammer for some things. Like, this is still technically abuse. And it, society-wise, it's kind of made it okay for women to perpetrate it because of stuff that we've dealt with coming up. But like, the numbers are probably extremely higher for men. Y'all just don't talk about it. Well, you know, one of the things that Yaya said, one of the things that Yaya said earlier, and I told my son when I was giving him some lessons in life, from a woman's point of view, normally if there's no violence, a woman will respond to a man the way that he treats her. In most instances, if I tried it out on my wife, she's on the phone. If I come in and I say, "Hey, sweetie, how are you?" She said, "Hey, honey, how are you?" If I walk in the room and say, "What in the world's wrong with you?" She said, "What's wrong with you?" Women normally respond to the way that they're being treated. Yeah. And that is indeed. So we need to learn how to treat each other. Last week I gave a scripture and I said that one of the cardinal rules is treat others as you want to be treated. And I think that if we can learn from the Bible to start treating people as we want to be treated, the whole world would be a lot better. I'm going to stop right there because I know you have another guest on the line, Chad, but Yvonne Ali Monroe said it very clearly when she was talking about the spiritual values. A lot of this, we can go to the counselor, we can go to the psychiatrist, but a lot of our behavior can be adjusted in the way that we think spiritually. Go right ahead, Chad.
Okay. G-Say, what's happening, my guy? Did you come in to listen or you came to talk?
I hope he talks, because I would love to hear what he has to say. Unmute yourself, G.
There you go.
I normally just like
turn that camera on too, let the people see you, bro.
Oh, shucks, let me do that. My lighting's not good. Oh, it's better. I thought, okay.
Hey, G.
Great lighting too.
Good to see you again.
Oh man, it's always a pleasure. I appreciate that.
So what you guys say?
No, what I'm saying was I came in to what you all were discussing. I'm hearing and definitely receiving. I caught the tail end of Tiffany's comments about oppressive abuse in our communities and how it's definitely underreported. And I'm just hoping, with that being said, that I get to catch a couple that we can support each other as far as, being resources or solutions for how to mitigate the impacts and even the occurrence of these sorts of things in our communities, because that's something that definitely has a ripple effect and touches more than one person when it's perpetrated. So just kind of absorb what has to be said, contribute where I can.
Okay. Well, Tiffany, Chad, Yaya, anything y'all want to say? We're going to go to close out. We had a great time this evening. You all did a marvelous job. Anything else y'all want to close out? We're going to go to close out, and then we're going to come back and give you all the final word. Is that okay?
I'll start. I'll go ahead. Well, I'm gonna just
I'm gonna
say.
come back. I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
come back.
Okay. You got it.
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go to close out. Then I'm gonna give you the final word. We'll be right back in 1 and 2 minutes after we go to the close out. You want to say anything, son? Do you want to say anything?
Oh yeah, sure.
Malcolm had one more thing to say.
Well, not definitely, I don't know if this could be a future topic, but I definitely agree with don't argue in front of your kids. My father was great with his candor and teaching me actually learned when
Right? Is he still on? Can't hear him.
Yeah.
I don't see him even on here anymore.
Yeah.
that's because I'm on my father's computer. Can y'all hear me?
He's coming through my stream.
Okay.
Can he come show his face and take that mask down? Like, y'all good 6 feet away. He was a little scary now, all black. Just saying.
All right, go ahead, get up out the table. Let me have a seat.
Okay, hold on.
Switch.
Your face. That's not a problem. So with that being said, I definitely agree with everything he said, but I learned myself personally when me and his mother had gotten into an argument, and we were but KJ, my son's mother, you're right about that, but we was arguing about something stupid, and the argument was so bad, my 6-month-old son started screaming at the top of his lungs. And normally daddy could calm him down because he's I'm his favorite, he's a daddy's boy, but at that point I realized, wow, I really can't argue with this woman. And I just have to just be a better person in life, and just talk to people with respect and treat people with respect, similar to what everything was being said. But I don't have anything else to say. I just wanted to mention that maybe that could be a future topic, I don't know. But Yaya, Chad, and Tiffany, if y'all don't have anything else to say, we could do this closeout video, then we can come back for the final word.
All right. Let's.
Ready for the okay? All right.
Hi, this is First Lady Minister Patricia Ann Jones. Thank you for watching our broadcast, The Gospel Truth. Please visit our website. You can visit our Facebook page on Servants for Christ Baptist Church, or our YouTube page, search Servants for Christ Baptist Church. To support our ministry, visit servantsforchristinc.org. Our church phone number is 240-244-2564. For prayer requests, call 240-241-0849. Or you can always email us on sfcbcministries@gmail.com. Thank you for viewing our broadcast. And our scripture for this year, 2020, is Hebrews 11:1, walking in faith. So again, thank you for watching our show, and always come and visit us at Servants for Christ Baptist Church, where our pastor is the Reverend Dr. Jerry W. Jones Jr. Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye.
So with that being said, I just want to leave people with a reminder. Your reminder is for the people that are listening, read your Bible, say a prayer. God is always with you. There's a scripture in the Bible for every single situation you may go through in life. Remember, God is with you to fight through your depressions and your personal issues that you may go through. And with that being said, Yaya, Chad, and Tiffany, take it away.
Go ahead, Yaya.
Oh, well, this was a good conversation. It was a conversation that I definitely needed to share because, like they say, talking about your situations is the best way to heal from your situations. And it's high time that I start talking about it because I got so shamed after my breakup that I really started to feel like it was my fault. So when you're in abusive relationships, you will be manipulated to be felt like these are your faults. These are things that you created, but you have to remember that is another form of abuse. That is another form of manipulation. And sometimes that thing runs in their family. So you cannot listen to what outsiders say. If you felt like you was wrong, then baby, you was wrong. And that's what I got to say for my closeout.
We're aiming for healing once again. I appreciate you all sharing your stories and being able to be so vulnerable with us because that's hard to do. I know for me personally, this is always a bit cathartic, and I'm sharing things with you all that I don't generally talk about. So it is kind of good to get some of these things out. And as I always say, for me personally, as Tiffany Nicole, if my story can help one woman, my job is done. So that is what I'm here for. And like I said, I hope through my stuff that you all get some insight and some healing. And again, thank you everyone, G, Ray, Stephanie, Malcolm. Thank you guys all for joining us again week after week. We really appreciate what you all have to say. So thank you. Chad, take it away, babe. Close us out.
There we go. I want to thank all our guests that tuned in, everybody that chimed in, everybody that left a comment, everybody that hit the share button. Once again, it was another conversation that needed to be had. It was another dope show. I loved it. To my lovely, beautiful, wonderful co-host, I love y'all. Mwah, I love y'all. To our producer, Reverend Dr. Jerry Jones, you are awesome, sir. To our first lady, you are awesome. To Malcolm, the first son, you are awesome. Wait, is that a word? Is that a title? First son?
I guess it is now.
All right, well, we running with that. My man Ray, chiming in with us frequently every week now. Yeah, but like I said, this show really gave me an eye opener. I learned stuff about myself. Once again, it's nothing better than when you can learn from your own product. I think I still got some more healing to do. Yeah.
It's a lifelong process, baby.
It is. I can't wait to see what this week brings in to bring us into next week's show. I think that's all I got to say. So to everyone, I love y'all from the bottom of my heart to the top of my heart. I love you all. Thank y'all for tuning in. And we shall see y'all next Tuesday from 8 to 9. We'll be on time.
We know we go to like 9:30 easily. Stop lying to the people.
Oh, well, okay, that part.
Just saying.
Because the Rev got to speak.
Just saying.
The Rev got to speak his
Before we
part after
go,
9.
just saying.
After 9 is his time. We got, we got to have praise and worship after the show. So,
So 8 to 9:30 at least.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Well, this has been the Gospel Truth on behalf of the illustrious Reverend Dr. Jerry Willard Jones Jr. I wish you all a good night, and we will see y'all next week. Have a good night.
You too.